Another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host Neil Johnson. I could not get the orientation changed. Sorry, I'm a little late here. The I went into the orientations, and so you're going to get it vertical here this morning, which is going to make it a little harder because I can't stick it in my tripod. But here's the thing, folks. There is so much good news out there right now. And there's going to be some really big news dropping today from Supreme Court. So keep your eye on that. That's the 1512C3 obstruction of Congress charge, the whole Enron deal. You guys know that they tried to put against the J6ers. There's a ruling coming out on that. It sounds like that's going to be today. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. FANI Willis cannot catch a break. And if you didn't know, a really big development, we knew it was coming, but Saudi Arabia has officially ended the agreement with the petrodollar with America. So the petrodollar, meaning that their oil transactions do not need to be settled in dollars anymore. That was from the 70s, which actually allowed the dollar to enjoy a crazy run of prosperity, even though the dollar was taken off the gold standard. And that happened actually, just to give you the history on that, that happened immediately after the dollar was taken off the gold standard, which then conflated the value of the dollar. And we've enjoyed that since then. Although I do think, and I will say this much, I do believe that it is almost better this way. And I don't mean that lightly, but the fiat currency system has really kept people in power who should not be in power. Does that make sense to everybody? It's not a good solution for the world to have fiat currency running everything and international bankers controlling that. There's just a tremendous amount of control over that. So anyhow, I hope you guys get where I'm coming from there. It's not that I'm going to enjoy it, but I do encourage you to buy some gold, silver, guns, ammo, that kind of stuff. You guys can go to Midas Gold Group, MidasGoldGroup.com, or text Lumberjack to 232425. But I do encourage you to get some. I'm not saying it's the end all be all, the complete answer, and you got to make your own decisions. And you're still going to have to utilize cash to buy your things, okay? But I would set some things up in place. I think that's going to actually be a bigger story than most people realize. So anyways, wanted to get that out. But so Fani Willis, I'm going to cover that first. I actually have a couple other stories that I think are really big. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cover this one first, then I'll get into Fani Willis. If you guys didn't know, that was yesterday that Biden Zelensky signed a 10-year U.S.-Ukraine security deal at the G7 summit. But what's so wild about this, okay, I just saw a comment from Jamie Johnson. I have not seen any comments except this one. And the one I see is, "You've got 3 kittens." No, I don't want any kittens. We got 1 kitten. That's enough, man. Don't become a crazy cat person, okay? But Biden and Zelensky are going to, have signed this U.S.-Ukraine security deal. But the admission of why they signed this is what's so startling, because all the chicanery and nonsense that the Democrats are going to pull, right? You guys know this stuff, correct? I mean, you don't think that they're just going to go quietly into the night. You don't think that they're just going to be like, yeah, you know what? I guess we're not that concerned about who wins the election this year, and we're just going to play it by the rules. I mean, so yes, happy birthday to President Trump. And it is Flag Day. And actually, Leah Hoops, who you guys got to see on the show the other day, shares Donald Trump's birthday. Also a Flag Day baby. So she's out there courageously fighting in Pennsylvania. She's got another lawsuit. That lady is just all in, man. She's a fighter. Thank you, Mago. So anyways, but so they signed this 10-year agreement, but get this is why. And this is out of the Washington Post. This is kind of interesting. President Biden and Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky planned Thursday to sign a 10-year security agreement that will commit Washington to supply Kiev with a wide range of military assistance, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said, in a bid to bolster Ukraine's fight with Russia. The deal aims to commit future U.S. administrations to support Ukraine, even if Trump wins in November, officials said. It will be a framework for a long-term effort by the United States to help develop Ukraine's armed forces, which have innovated on drone warfare and other cutting-edge techniques in the fight against Russia, but are also desperately outgunned and in need of modern weapons. So, this is what's interesting about that. They're basically admitting that they have to do this because they're afraid Trump's going to win the election, even with all their chicanery, even with all their nonsense, the fraud, the Zuckerbucks, all of it. They need to do this, okay? And somehow President Trump isn't going to stop that. I mean, they seriously think that they can sign this agreement and there's not going to be a way out of it? How many of you guys think? Just in the chat, answer this question. Hey, do me a favor. Smash that like if you would really quick. 812 you on only 131 likes. Let's get this stream over 1,000 people. We can do it if you just smash that like button. Drop a comment from where you're from. And you could also state in the chat, how do you pronounce FANNI? Because apparently that's a big deal right now to the lady who spells her name FANNY. Or I'm sorry, FANNI. Anyways, but I can't. That was actually a slip. I did not mean to say why. I didn't. It was honestly a slip. I caught myself after I said it. Anyways, but do you honestly think that Donald Trump isn't going to rescind that agreement? Like, there's not some way out of that? Yes or no? Do you guys think yes or no that Trump's gonna keep that agreement in place? Yes. Oh, he's just all in on Ukraine. Or no, he's gonna find a way to rescind that. I do not believe for a second that Joe Biden's agreement that he's done with Vladimir Zelensky holds water long term, and there isn't a way out of it. Okay. Anyhow, Latin for what? You people, I am not. No. I made my mistake there. All right. So, but since we're talking about Fannie Willis, I want to also ask you this question. What is the role of voting machines? Seriously, what is their purpose? Because let me ask you this. Do they make elections more secure? In fact, I'm going to go through a series of questions, and I saw this guy, Eric Abonante, ask these questions on X, and I thought they were so good. But he said, do election machines make things more secure? Yes or no? Does it reduce the costs of elections? Yes or no? Do they give you faster results? Yes or no? This is a big one because I saw him counting votes down in Argentina by hand and got it all done in one night. So, I mean, is this making it quicker? Because that's what we're told, right? It makes it quicker. It makes it more secure, all this stuff. So, tell me then, why do we have voting machines, and why is it Fox News can't cover any voting machine stories? Smash that like if you would, please. So I got it. Yeah, I don't think anybody here is thinking that they're saving us money, giving us faster results, or making more secure elections. Not a one person in my chat. Okay? So then what is their purpose? What is their purpose? What is the criking purpose of these things? They were introduced to the American election system, okay? Recently. The original justification was efficiency, people. It was supposed to make elections more efficient. If it's more efficient, then why in 2020 did it take us all those days to get the results? Why? Answer that, Democrat trolls on here. I think we need to go to a system like Taiwan or whatever country it is over in Asia where I saw them. They just hold up the ballot for everybody to see. They count it and they're done in a night. Because if you go to precincts instead of central vote counters, that's Maricopa County. They got these central vote tabulation centers, right? Where they have all these machines and printers and everything's supposed to be so good and smooth, but nothing's good and smooth. And yet, if you go to precincts, okay, actual voting precincts, and it's closer to the people, and they have to go through a hand count right there in front of everybody, what is going to provide you with a better result? Central vote tabulation centers or precincts and hand counting? I mean, machines and central tabulation centers or local precincts and hand counting. I just can't with all this. Okay? And Fox won't even discuss it. Won't even discuss it. All right, on to. So is it FANI or is it FANI? People, if you hadn't heard, two things happened to FANI yesterday. So she filed this emergency appeal with the Georgia Supreme Court because she was so concerned about the Trump case. Because, of course, they've granted the appeal process down there. And she's freaking out because Harrison Floyd's got her by the... Yeah, you can't say that. Don't have her by the balls. How would you say that? I don't know. You guys can come up with it. I mean, I could think of something. But her name, by the way, is not FANI. She's very upset about this. Now, I mean, I just looked at it, FANNI, and I pronounced it FANI. I didn't even understand. And then I kept hearing FANI, and then I heard FANI, 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 FANI. I don't know. But apparently, according to her, because she's really upset about this, it's got to be FANI. Okay? The Georgia Supreme Court also ruled against Fani Willis in the corrupt judge in the Young Thug trial, where attorney Brian Steele discovered a plot by Willis and the judge to intimidate witnesses. So if you didn't see my videos on that from so yesterday I didn't get one done, but the 2 days prior, it's really a wild thing that's going on in Georgia in this Young Thug Life case. And Fani Willis, Fani Willis, golly, it's not FANNY. It's like, it should be spelled FAWNY or FAWNI if it's Fani. I don't want to just kill this point, but I guess her name is Fani. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so stop making fun of her. Okay. Anyways, what's wild about this is we saw the corruption with her and Nathan Wade in the Trump case, and now she's trying to convict this rapper in this RICO case down there, and we're finding out that her entire office is corrupt in that case as well. So her office is meeting with the judge and the witness and conspiring against the defendant and then throwing the attorney in the hootskow. I mean, you guys saw in my video, he was literally hauled out, but she has been held in contempt of the court by the judge of the Supreme Court after revealing he knew what they were planning, and the Georgia Supreme Court has stepped in. Okay, so, no, excuse me, I'm saying this wrong. So Steele, the attorney, was held in contempt and then hauled out of court after revealing he knew. Well, then the Georgia Supreme Court stepped in and stopped him from going to jail. Okay, so that was an order. So that's what's going on with Fani. And yes, she's losing and she can't catch a break and she doesn't need one because she sucks, okay? But do you guys want to hear a really big win? And this isn't even out of Georgia. And it's a big court win from yesterday. Smash that like for this one because this is freaking phenomenal. So, in Michigan, you have the trifecta of evil. Whitmer, Benson, Nessel. Okay? And the way that works is Nessel acts as the AG, protects Whitmer, and also protects Benson. And Benson issues unlawful edicts, okay? Because they're not laws, okay? They're orders and edicts coming from on high, from the Secretary of State's office, which should be the most benign position in because they just acted as a secretary dealing with License Bureau stuff and elections, and they weren't supposed to be partisan. But listen to this. Out of the state of Michigan, the Court of Claims This is Republican National Committee, Michigan Republican Party, National Congressional Committee, and so on, versus Jocelyn Benson in her official capacity as the duly elected Secretary of State. This is before Judge Christopher Yates in Michigan. So this is, I'm going to show you too. I'm reading right from the order. I just want you to see that, okay? So this is just straight out of the court. This dispute before the court is not only the latest chapter in a long battle over presumptions of validity of voter signatures on absentee ballot applications and submissions, but also a contest about rules promulgated to assist local elections officials in the signature verification process. By the way, this was posted on Democracy Docket. Mark Elias is crying. And people, if Mark Elias is crying, we're winning. If you don't know who Mark Elias is, he is a communist Democrat lawyer who's out to steal your elections. So this is the greatest news that we got out of the last couple of days, because they just got soundly defeated in court. Okay? It's a contest about the rules promulgated to assist local elections officials in the signature verification process. The court concludes that any presumption of validity cannot pass muster under Michigan law, but the rules promulgated by the defendants, that's the Secretary of State and Director of Elections, can withstand the plaintiff's challenge under Michigan law. So it goes through the factual background, but here's the bottom line. I'm just going to get you to the end because I got an appointment coming up here at 9. Anyways, but listen to this conclusion. This is the conclusion from the court order from the judge. For all the reasons set forth in this opinion, the court declares the initial presumption of validity in signature verification of absentee ballot applications and envelopes mandated by the December 2023 guidance manual issued by the defendants, that's Jocelyn Benson, is incompatible with the Constitution and the laws of the state of Michigan. For similar reasons, the court declares that the catch line referring to an initial presumption of validity in R168.22 is incompatible with the Constitution and laws of the state of Michigan. Accordingly, these provisions must be excised from the guidance manual and the catch line in R168.22. In contrast, the court concludes that R168.24 is permissible under the Michigan Constitution and the law of the state of Michigan, so the court shall deny the plaintiff's request for declaratory relief with respect to Rule 4. Finally, because the court has ruled in plaintiff's favor on the merits in addressing the guidance manual, the court need not consider whether the guidance manual was promulgated in violation of the APA. The court hereby invites the plaintiffs to submit a proposed judgment memorializing the court's findings and, if appropriate, closing the case. It is so ordered. What this means, people, do you guys get what this means? Basically, the state of Michigan, meaning Jocelyn Benson, decided that you need to presume, before even looking at the signatures, that it's all valid. I'm not kidding you. So what's the point of signature verification if all the signatures are valid before you even verify them? Huh? This is what this communist out of the state of Michigan, Jocelyn Benson, had determined. That no matter what, you need to just assume that they're good. You don't even need signature verification. And the judge came out and said, to heck with that. To heck with that. So that's a big win out of Michigan, people, which is a key state. Key. Okay? I'm going to let you know one other thing here before I take off. Please do smash that like, and do check out my sponsor, MyPillow. MyPillow.com, promo code Lumberjack for big savings. Mike Lindell is a true warrior poet, man. The guy is a patriot. You guys know I'm headed to the RNC with him. And right now, you still get the free pillow. There's still a lot of great deals going on. It's still free shipping on orders over $75 with promo code Lumberjack. So mypillow.com/Lumberjack or promo code Lumberjack. Go check it out. But Julie Kelly posted on X, as we wait to see if SCOTUS announces Fisher today, let's take a walk down memory lane. The first D.C. judge to uphold the Department of Justice novel use of 1512C2 refused to dismiss the count in J6 cases was Dabney Friedrich. That was a Trump appointee, but listen to this. Not only should she be nowhere near a federal bench, she should have recused herself from 1512C2. Why? Her husband, Matthew, was a Kathy Rummler. 1512C2 was the child, and that's who's overseeing the case. Great to see. Victor. I'm going to be out there elk hunting this fall. Please smash that like on your way out. Go check out the sponsors, Midas Gold Group and My Pillow. And thanks so much for listening. I got to get to my appointment. I love y'all. You truly are the best audience on YouTube. See you down the road. Peace out.